Greetings, YouTube. Elaine Unleashed back at you from right here at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel, right here in Grow Zone 8B in Tifton, Georgia. And in this morning's video, YouTube, we're going to be bringing you guys a day 40 update on the 30 plus Celeste fig tree cuttings that we've attempted to propagate here in our high tunnel greenhouse during, again, the past 40 days, YouTube. We've had some colder temperatures here at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel YouTube. Our previous low here about 2 weeks ago was 39. Last night's low here at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel YouTube was 40. And although last night's low was around 40 degrees here, YouTube, I'm going to flip this camera around for you guys right now and give you guys a peek at our thermometer here inside of our greenhouse and show you guys what yesterday's high was here inside of our greenhouse, what last night's low was here inside of our greenhouse, and what today's current temperature is right here, right now, inside of our high tunnel greenhouse. Hang tight, YouTube. All right, YouTube, here we are approaching our thermometer here inside of our high tunnel greenhouse, YouTube. As you guys can see, last night's low was 62 degrees here in our high tunnel greenhouse. Yesterday's high was 79 degrees here in our high tunnel greenhouse. And this morning's current temperature is 76 degrees here inside of our high tunnel greenhouse, YouTube. So as you guys again can see, although last night's low outside here was again around 40 degrees, our inside temperature was around 62 degrees here last night. That's roughly about 20 degrees warmer inside of our high tunnel greenhouse here, YouTube, than the outside surrounding temperatures, and that's a very good thing. It keeps everything in our greenhouse under balmy conditions and temperatures here in our high tunnel greenhouse. But I'm going to show you guys right now again, YouTube, about 23 of those 30 plus Celeste fig tree cuttings that we've been propagating here in our high tunnel greenhouse during the past 40 days, YouTube. A lot has happened, YouTube, in just 40 days. Take a look at this, guys. Bam! Can you guys see, YouTube? Can you guys see the tremendous amount of growth that these 23 Celeste fig tree cuttings have put on right here in our high tunnel greenhouse in approximately the past 40 days, YouTube? That is a tremendous amount of growth for YouTube. And again, all of these cuttings are cuttings from our banana water rooting method that we showed you guys in one of our previous fig tree cutting videos. These are Celeste fig tree cuttings from our clear plastic tote propagation method, and these are indeed Celeste fig tree cuttings from our bag and soil method, where we use the bag and soil method to propagate our Celeste fig tree cuttings, YouTube. I'm going to walk you guys around to the other side of this table and give you a back side view of these Celeste fig tree cuttings. As you can see, not all of our Celeste fig tree cuttings have actually sprouted foliage, YouTube, but indeed all 23 of these cuttings on this table, YouTube, are fully rooted, YouTube. As you guys know who have propagated Celeste fig tree cuttings in the past know, some fig tree cuttings will develop an extensive root system far before they actually sprout and develop foliage. Some actually develop foliage and extensive foliage far before they begin to actually develop an extensive root system, YouTube. But either way, YouTube, either way, this is what 23, YouTube, 23 of the 30 plus Celeste fig tree cuttings that we've been in the process of propagating here in our high tunnel greenhouse during the past 40 days currently look like, YouTube. Again, they are all fully rooted, YouTube, and many of them have again begun to put on extensive growth, YouTube. I'm going to show you guys something. I have a container here containing several more of the Celeste fig tree cuttings that we've taken during the past season here, YouTube. We had these in our refrigerator. Just going to take one of these guys out right now and give you guys a peek at it. You guys see that? You see how bare and plain this particular cutting is. It's been in our refrigerator in a sealed container for about 30 days now or so. Every one of these cuttings that you currently see in these pots, YouTube, each and every one of these cuttings started out looking like this, YouTube. Completely bare, no foliage, no roots, no nothing. Just plain bare cuttings, YouTube. And again, these are the results we've been able to achieve here in our high tunnel greenhouse during the past 40 days as far as propagating Celeste fig tree cuttings go, YouTube. Again, all of these cuttings, regardless to whether or not they've actually begun to sprout foliage, are indeed fully rooted. We made assured that all of our cuttings prior to being planted, potted into 1 gallon containers, were indeed fully rooted, YouTube. As you can see, this guy just beginning to sprout out some foliage there. This tip here is popping off that brown tip. That tip is ready to open up and begin to sprout foliage also, YouTube. But at any rate, YouTube, at any rate, day 40 of propagating Celeste fig tree cuttings in our 20-foot by 10-foot by 7-foot high tunnel greenhouse using the banana water method, the clear plastic tote method, and the bag and soil method, YouTube. And we're pretty pleased and excited by the results that we've achieved so far. We're hoping that our Celeste fig tree cuttings continue to grow well and vigorously here. As you can see, this guy's beginning to actually sprout out some new foliage there, and down there at the base of the soil we have a bud coming out there, YouTube. So again, all of our Celeste fig tree cuttings are indeed looking well at around day 40. We have 3 in this pot here, YouTube, that have to be separated and up-potted into separate pots. We also have 3 in this particular container here that have to be separated and up-potted into separate 1 gallon containers. And we do have to get around to doing that sometime this week, YouTube, probably later on today. But again, YouTube, again, day 40, propagating Celeste fig tree cuttings in our 20-foot by 10-foot by 7-foot high tunnel greenhouse. Thanks for watching. And if indeed you currently are watching this video on propagating Celeste fig tree cuttings and you're not already subscribed to the Green Thumb Gardening channel, please indeed take this moment to press that subscribe button beneath this video, that like button, that notification button, and be sure, YouTube, be sure to share this video with your friends and family as well. Yeah, propagating Celeste fig tree cuttings in our high tunnel greenhouse. Thanks for watching.
I might not say it often, and if I don't come around, know that I love you, mother, and I won't ever let you down. It wasn't easy, but you taught me how to be a man. You told me take my promise and place them in the Lord's hands. Sometimes I reminisce, amazed at how you made a way to clothe and feed me and my siblings each and every day. In every school event, you make sure that you got involved. Don't know how you did it all and worked a full-time job. You taught me how to pray and read me my first Bible verse. And every Sunday you got us dressed and took us all to church. You always made the time for us and you were always there. I still remember how you washed and pressed my sister's hair. When we got sick, I can recall you at our bedside. Late night just making sure that we were alright. And when I needed your advice, you always kept it real. So I wrote this song for you to let you know just how I feel. Brought me in this world and raised me with your own hands. Saying nothing on this earth could change the lowest plans. I still remember, I see clear like it was yesterday. Brought up in Atticus, Georgia, where we used to stay. Since it was right across the street, there was no missing school. And plus we knew that we would get it if we broke the rules. There was no skipping class cause we didn't have nowhere to go. Back then a neighbor could spank your butt and let your parents know. I wrote this song to thank you for your every sacrifice. And for blessing us all with your compassion and a good life. I still include you in